Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing with my Counterfeit Kit Challenge for my design team layout for use and scraps. And this is what I started with scraps. There's a lot of them. So I pulled out these three pictures of my youngest. We're at Calgary Folk Fest. I believe this was last year. And it was rainy, most of it. So yeah, we ended up getting everybody new rain gear because it was that rainy. So I pulled out this piece of paper that I had in my kit, and so that's going to be the base of my layout. And then I pulled out these banners, and I'm going to use these scraps for as many as I feel like I can and won't get most of a page out of, into scraps, into these banners, flags, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to do my photos that way too, because why not? I've never done a page like this one before, and I thought it'd be fun. So I'm going to show you a couple run-throughs with my dies, and then I'm going to bump ahead because this process with cutting all of these scraps and all of these flags, banners, whatever you want to call them, took me, probably a good half hour, 45 minutes. So even though this is sped up super fast, it still would have been a 10-minute process for it being super fast and watching. So yeah. So use 4 of the 5, 3 of the 5, no, 4 of the 5. I do use that really big one too, so that I can get all of this on. Those pieces I'm just tossing into the bin. The little one I'm not using from this set. This is a Recollections set that I got at Michael's that's fairly new. And I've used the triangles on it a lot, but now I'm using these ones. So I'm just laying them out. I want various sizes on 2 strings of banners. One, I felt like I wasn't using enough of my scraps up, and I don't want a whole ton of this left. So I'm doing my best to get these on. I decided I wanted that bottom largest flag. I've only got 2 of those centered on the bottom. And so I'm looking at those, I'm like, But now I feel like that picture that I have there is a little small. So I am going to bring that bigger one down. There we go. And that is kind of sort of getting to where I'm feeling it's okay. So, yep, that's alright. So I'm going to grab some masking tape. I use this for stamping, but I'm going to use it on my photos and my papers because it doesn't tear. So I can have those all where I want them. Put some glue down or tape runner and get it kind of sort of situated, and then it's just the top stuff that didn't really get glue that I have to glue down. So I did this with the bottom. I didn't do it with the top. I don't know why I didn't do it with the top, but this was quite a fussy layout to do with these banner pieces, but it is what it is. So cutting those off, that looks pretty good. I thought about trying to use that piece, and I'm like, no, that's gonna go into the bin. And then I missed cutting one of these pictures, so I am gonna cut this picture. I debated not using it, but I'm like, no, I totally do want to use it. So that one's on Friday, the pizza's on Saturday. 2 different days for this, but can't tell because of the rain and the rain jacket. But, so that one's gonna go down there. I like that more, and that fills out that a little bit better. And so now I'm gonna get the base of the top one kind of situated. I could have actually cut more flags. I am gonna hand cut some here in a little bit to make some even smaller ones, but I am trying to to even out the different patterns on each line so that they're kind of not completely in line with each other, and hopefully on the diagonal for some of them, just trying to sort it out. So that's why I flipped those two at the top there that I just flipped, but just trying to make it so you have a little bit of everything. And it's okay. And then I'm like, I'm still not super happy with that, but I am just going to go for it and put the bigger stuff down and then just get it on, because that was enough fussing with that, and I just, yep, I really need to just get this on. Still not gluing though. And then I wasn't quite happy with where that was sitting. I don't know why, because sometimes it is like that with layout. I'm not quite sure what is going on, but I like that one underneath. It makes it look like it's a long banner piece. And I did like, I didn't really want to do a lot of layering with these, so that's why it is taking me a good amount of time. So the video is only 15 minutes long, almost, but this whole process took me an hour and a half. This was like a longer layout for me. Typically my layouts take about an hour to do, so it is what it is. I like those three down there and overlapping the picture. That works out well. This one I thought I could sneak in there, and I like that. Trim, so I get a good idea of what it's looking like. And this is where I decide that I could use some little ones. So I'm going to use the leftover of this branding strip, because I have some of that on here anyway. And now I'm looking at what I have for smaller scraps that I don't really want to keep after I'm done this layout. So that says July, and so that came off of a Christmas page, a Christmas concert page. And then just taking some of these things and adding them in a little bit of other spots so that we have some smaller ones. So the hearts were fun to do that with, and I'm not going to use that triangle piece on anything else, so that works well. More of these strips that I had left over from my layout last Wednesday. And then I had these on my desk, so I'm just going to call this Yum, because she's eating the pizza that we love. We can't eat a lot of things when we go out, because my youngest and I are both celiac, but this pizza from Avatar Pizza in Calgary is amazing, and their whole restaurant and food truck is gluten-free, so we totally can have it, and it makes me happy. So there's not a lot of places that we can do that with, but having Avatar and not having to worry about cross-contamination at all, because they literally have nothing to cross-contaminate with, is such a blessing. So I'm getting more stuff on for little ones. I'm going to do a banner out of this green piece, and then I decided I wanted another one, but I only have this kind of corner here, so I'm going to make a half a banner and hide it. So that works out pretty good. some more of this polka dot one. Get those on. I want a little bit more of this other polka dot. Just filling in the spaces. So now I want to do a tiny bit of embellishing. So I was looking at these word stickers and I'm not too keen on that one. And I'm going to pull out these ones. So this one says summertime fine, and I additioned it in a few spots, but it is going to go underneath the kind of like a shelf. Looking the rest of those Ali Edwards ones, meh. But there's some of these ones that I can use. So one of them says rain, and obviously it was definitely raining. And then that says summer days, the other one. So the rain is going to go underneath the July. The summer days is at the top there, but it's going to move. This one says bring on the good stuff, which works because that pizza is, I'm telling you, really good. So, and then just looking, there's we go to Folk Fest Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I know this is Friday, Saturday because of the brand new rain jacket my kiddo has on, but I was thinking about doing all 4 days of the week, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. So I'm going to take off the Thursday and the Sunday because it's not Thursday and Sunday. I'm going to put Friday on the Friday, and the Saturday goes underneath summer days. Saturday on the left hand side of that second banner. And then I'm still thinking I might need a little bit more something up there. So some more of this one. It's just a lot of layers. And I'm going to pull this one off, and I'm going to cut one more out of this, but without using my die cut machine because I didn't want to. And then that one on, another one of the polka dot on. And we're getting pretty close now. So off screen, after I decide I'm pretty close to done, these are the scraps I have left. Some of them I'm just going to toss out because I really don't need to keep the smaller, not really usable ones. But I still have probably a couple layouts I could do with just the scraps here. Those I just threw out. I do take my layout and along both of the banners, stitch with my sewing machine. My sewing machine is not in my craft room because my youngest is using it quite often actually, so it is upstairs. So I have to take it upstairs and do it that way. I wasn't sure I was going to do that to start with, but yeah. So that's what I have left for scraps. Compared to what I started with, I think I did pretty good getting some of my scraps used up, but there's a lot left this month. So here's some close-ups. So that's a wrap on this page. Still shots are to follow. If you loved how this came together today, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share some Crafty Love with comments. You can see some of the stitching there. Blogs, playlists, and links are always shared in the description box below. Today it'll just be blog and link. Until next time, make sure you stay inspired, full of ideas, and keep scrapbooking. I have lots of close-ups this time around. There's that whole page. You can see that stitching. Thank you so much for watching today. Have yourself a wonderful day.